It's a special Canada 150 episode.
Okay, so good.
Canada 150 Years of Deception on Angry Beaver Radio. Finally back for 2017. July. It was basically 2 weeks ago was the Canada 150 weekend. It was a whole week of, or month or year-long festivities. I think Mike's been to Niagara Falls. Here he's showing it off a Canada 150 display. I guess this is right near the falls because it looks like you can see a lot of scenery, like a lot of clouds. So it's got to be somewhere near the falls in the distance.
Yeah. So, but we when we were down there at that particular area, we were getting all the mist from the falls itself, and it's quite wet. If you stayed in one spot very long, you'd be soaked. Mm-hmm. Depending on where the wind's blowing, which direction. Yeah. But it was a good day. It was a warm day, and I really enjoyed it. And it was good. Took the bus down, so it's only you have to have a player's card to get on the bus properly. It was like if you have like the regular playing card, like for two people or whatever, it is $16 return.
Like it's a gambling thing. This is a
the Casino Niagara there.
But do you have to go to the casino, or did you step into it, or?
Well, we did. Yeah, we did go, and we played a little bit.
Just slots or any cards or anything.
No, just the machines. But did win some money to have kind of like a dinner, which was good. So what you got to do is play properly.
Did you eat the dinner at the casino though, or did you take it out too?
No, we ate at there's a Chinese restaurant there, a buffet.
Oh, nice.
So we ate there. So it was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Oh yeah, but it's expensive if you want to eat. So we decided to play first and then eat later.
Yeah.
So we made a little money, and that paid for that.
Yeah. Then basically that's the best you can hope for, because the house always wins. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. So they don't go broke, but you go broke.
Yeah, you can't risk it all because.
No, but the weird thing that they do is that they have ATMs in there. So if you do blow all your money, hey, the money machine is right there. You can go and get more money if you want. Blow more money.
They also have the gambling counseling centers too, and I think they have a whole program too for credit,
they do,
for problem gamblers, line of credit thing.
Something. One time we were there, they had the people right outside the casino itself.
Oh, like the gambling addiction type.
Yes, gambling addiction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good to think about just because it could happen.
It could, yes.
It's the thrill of it. You're betting something, you could win, you could lose.
Oh, if you're in the stock market, it's the same thing. That's a big gambling racket. Exactly. It's always the house against you anyway.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for 2008, I'd be rich.
Yeah. Well, they've rebounded their market, and then they're still playing games, I guess, on it. It's the biggest casino in the world.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Different markets.
Yeah. It's a nice looking casino. You could walk around outside of it and stuff like that too, and.
Yeah, Niagara Falls, this is the Canadian side. Yeah, have you been to the American side or not?
The last time I've been at the American side was last year, the 4th of July of last year.
Oh, you went on the 4th of July? Huh.
Last year. Huh. Not this year.
Yeah. So it would have been the end of Obama for your celebrating.
Yeah, it would have been, yeah. But there's too many hassles going over there, too many questions. And the first thing one of the things they asked me, so I guess you know what's going on in this country. I said, yeah, I'm quite aware. Why would they ask me that question? Maybe my name came up as an Angry Beaver Radio or something.
Yeah, 9/11 Truth.
Okay, could be. Yeah, could be. Right? So they're kind of looking at me. They said, okay, we'll do you a favor. You can go in.
Yeah.
So
that's good. They probably helped you out there because the screen might have been saying you can pull this guy over because he's got 9/11 Truth banners.
Well, yeah.
Buttons, hats, T-shirts.
I left most of my buttons and everything at home. I got them in a plastic
Angry Beaver
bag.
Radio podcast.
Yeah. Maybe I was lucky. Maybe I was lucky they didn't say, well, I'm sorry, you can't come in.
DVDs, the flyers, DVDs, they'd find, if they had searched your car, they'd find all that stuff.
No, we walked over.
DVDs, flyers. Oh, that's good.
But even still, you can be escorted out.
Yeah.
Which I have been before.
Yeah, they would pick you up. I think ICE would pick you up. ICE raids.
Yeah. Well, I've been turned around and...
Illegal immigrant.
Like about over 20 years ago.
Ah.
I was walked back out the door.
They thought you were moving in as an illegal.
Well, it's because
migrant.
it was the change between using your birth certificate to go over and a passport.
Yeah.
Because the time I went over, they had changed the policy. Right? So I'm saying, well, sorry, we can't let you over. The best thing to do, they told me the best thing for you to do is to get a passport.
They're both scams, though. Passport, birth certificate.
Well, yeah.
Just different stages of it. Because birth certificate, they do right when you're born. They do an illegal thing.
Yeah. There's just that moment where you're actually sovereign.
Yeah.
From the time you're born to the time you're getting the birth certificate, you're sovereign.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, unfortunately, I just found out that maybe for the first month you can't even totally see, so you're almost sort of blind anyway. So you don't even know what's going on. You probably couldn't comprehend really much, but
you
just absorb everything, I guess.
That's how they do it. That's how they do these things. Get you while you're young and naive and you can't think for yourself. Get you as a child. That's what Christmas is all about.
They do an illegal fictional entity, like an illegal fake fictional entity.
Yeah, exactly.
Illegal fiction they do.
Exactly. So why do you think when you go anywhere they want your full name?
In all capital letters.
That's right, yeah. Which in turn you can actually say to them, I cannot give you that because that is not me. It doesn't represent me.
Right.
I can give you my first and middle name. Mm-hmm. That's what was given to me.
Yeah.
I can only give you what has been given to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Because my last name does not belong to me. It belongs to my family.
Yeah.
But it was not given to me.
Yeah, well, you'd also think that there was when they were figuring out the last names, they had meanings and stuff and different slavery and different types of clans and stuff.
Yeah.
Tribes, clans, families.
That's why the lawyers have these big dictionaries called the Black's Law Dictionary.
Yeah.
Gives you meaning for different type of words. Mm-hmm. Like as in person. A person is a corporate fiction.
Right. Right.
A lot of people don't know
different types of monsters too in that.
Yeah, exactly. A monster, not a person, but a human.
Mm-hmm.
A human. That is you look under that in the dictionary, and it says look under monster. And didn't it say one who cannot own or inherit property?
Yeah, the origin of monster.
Yeah.
Because that's really
Yeah, and I think Mark Savory said it well too. He says, human. Hue is a shade. Is a shade of man. Human.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think also Farmer George said something like that too.
Yeah, Farmer George, yeah.
And it's been basically 150 years of deception from this, basically a corporate incorporation of Canada was the Confederation, the Confederation. Canada became a corporation 150 years ago, so that's what this whole celebration's been about, Canada 150.
Yes, that's right, Daniel, and a lot of people. Hold on. Yes, and a lot of people do not even know why they're celebrating Canada Day.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even know.
Yeah. Because they don't understand that there is basically these fathers of Confederation were railroad lawyers and different landowners, basically the elite that pulled a scam basically.
Yeah.
Because they had to do a big railroad all the way out through all the provinces, because all the provinces were almost like different colonies or something of.
Right. And I asked a young couple that were on our way, and I just happened to stop at a light. I was riding my bike, and I asked them why are they celebrating Canada Day, and they didn't know. Mm-hmm. They're just going to have a good time and celebrate something they don't even know anything about. She said, I don't know.
Well, people like the fireworks. I saw the fireworks at Downsview, but I wasn't in the park, but I could see them from across the street.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You saw any fireworks or not? You're not.
This was about a couple hours before it got dark.
No, but did you go out anywhere? You didn't see them?
I don't have to go very far. Huh. From my building, they're all over the place,
Even in the park? So you did see a few?
Oh, there are a few around,
But you can't see the CN Tower from where you are, because they have.
Oh yeah, I can. My balcony is facing the CN Tower.
Oh, nice. Did you see any down that far? Because they were going out that far.
You can see a little bit, and we've got also one of the Centennial Park.
Yeah, that's a big park. That should have something going on.
Yeah, they always do.
Because Downsview does. Probably High Park.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Plus, you got your local people having fireworks too.
Yeah, they just set them off during the day, or during the week at night too, just leading up to it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can hear them going off.
Mm-hmm. Plus, we have in the parking lot here, we have No Frills beside us, and you have that big trailer. It's called Kaboom.
Yeah, they're selling a lot. They want people to keep buying.
Isn't that giving you a negative message? Kaboom! I mean, that could be an act of terrorism right there. Because you're using kaboom or bang or something like that,
Yeah, that's why you have to worry about these days that are days that people light off fireworks, because that's when they could have gun crimes too, because they could do explosion crimes, gun crimes. People don't think it's a explosion or gun; they think it's a firework. So
because somebody from our building, I don't know who it was, I guess threw a firecracker or something out over the balcony, right? And one of my neighbors was out there too, right? And all you can hear is this boom,
That's scary.
Oh, it is, yeah. She just turned around and started cursing and swearing at him, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The whole bit, yeah.
Yeah, as long as you threw it far away, because if you just drop it off, then it could go into the person underneath you, just roll into their thing.
I thought firecrackers were banned from Canada. They were.
I don't think so. At least not on holidays, because they do it on Victoria Day as well, right? Just for Queen Victoria.
Yeah. But I mean, remember they're maybe about 2 inches long, and they had a wick inside them.
Oh, I don't know.
Red ones? Yeah, they're red ones, right?
No, I don't know those. They look more like dynamite or something. They're hardcore.
Oh no, these were smaller ones.
Ah, huh.
They had a really long wick, and it was sort of like somebody got bigger, somebody got smaller, and they were red. Yeah, and you just light the wick, and you had to throw them, or else
could be the cherry bombs. Cherry bombs. They were hardcore.
But they don't make them anymore.
Yeah, they might not allow them, just because kids would blow them up in their hands and stuff. It would be too.
Yeah.
Too dangerous.
Sparklers were always popular.
Yeah, Yeah, those are less dangerous.
Yeah, yeah. We used those when we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got older. We moved up to firecrackers. And
Like, it must have been dangerous, though, back in the day when there was no electricity and you had all the lamps everywhere, gas and stuff burning.
You had to
kerosene.
Be careful. Definitely had to be careful.
Things would, anything would fall over. And because even a lot of the buildings were just made of wood, too, so it could just be lit on fire.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. So, but those were the good old days anyways, you know.
1867 probably, back then. It would have been just after the Civil War as well. That's the other interesting part. Canada was founded right after the U.S. was at war.
Yeah.
With each other.
Well, for the U.S. Celebration, it's Independence Day, which they said was independent from Britain. Right?
Huh.
But when you think about it, they're still aligned with Britain.
Yeah, there's an alliance, but then the actual Declaration of Independence is hardcore, and that's, I think, when it was signed on. That's why they celebrated that day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Declaration of Independence has like hardcore passages where it's, you could see ISIS writing it 300 years ago.
Yeah, pretty much.
Where it's like a declaration of war almost, the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah. But still, aren't they a part of the big corporation, which started for them in 1776?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they figured if they could do their own thing, sort of, then they could be an even bigger corporation. The one thing is that if you think of it as being owned, then it's like basically China and Japan and a few different countries own the corporation, because that's who invests in owns the bonds and everything, owns the Fed.
Yeah.
So it's like U.S. is already owned anyways.
Oh, yeah.
And then Canada's got to be owned, too, by probably the royal family probably has a big thing, because we still have the Queen.
Yeah, we still have the Queen. And if you look on the coin, the Queen is not wearing her crown.
Yeah, but what about the crown land? Because you think that she'd still own the crown land. It's like you don't need to wear a crown if you have. As long as you still own all the land.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But how many people out here actually own their own land?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's sort of like there were some jokes when in Toronto they had the McGregor-Mayweather fight. Did you see that? There was like a trash talking session.
I saw a bit of that, and it's just that's what they all do when they're just to psych themselves up.
Yeah, it seemed like it was a bit of a WWE type hype. But they did it in Toronto, and they did it down near the lake, the new Budweiser Amphitheater, or the old Molson Amphitheater.
Right.
Now called Budweiser. And then they were basically, the crowd is totally behind McGregor. And then at one point, McGregor's making fun of the way that Mayweather's dressed, because he's wearing a T-shirt and carrying a backpack and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You're 40 years old, how are you dressing like this?" And then Mayweather makes a joke. He walks over to Dana White and he's like, "You see how Dana White's dressed?" And then he's like wearing a T-shirt and he's like, "This is how billionaires dress." You're trying too hard, because McGregor's wearing a full suit and everything. He's like, "You're wearing a suit, you're trying too hard." It means you're not rich. So I think that could be what the Queen is up to with the money. If she's behind taking her crown off the money.
Right.
She might be trying to fool people into thinking she's not the owner anymore. They're not rich, but really.
Yeah.
Really, she's like the billionaire still, or even more than a billion, probably.
Yeah. The coins that started this, I think it was 2003. So I was checking through my coins, and 2003 is when they first started.
Because she is one of the longest reigning queens ever. It's only Queen Victoria has a near rivalry.
Yes.
But then she surpassed it, right? So now she's the longest.
Yeah. And when you go back to the 60s, even in the 50s, her crown is a little smaller. It's not as predominant. As when you see it around the 80s and 90s, it's more predominant, right?
Yeah, that's when she really took over.
Yeah, but she still works. Her working is signing bills and signing certain things, you know.
Yeah, but you know who retired was the Duke of Edinburgh, her Prince.
her husband.
Philip, Prince Philip.
Prince Philip, yeah. I saw him in person at the
Oh, no.
Royal Ontario Agricultural Fair.
Oh, no. Did you ask about the virus, that he wants to come back as a virus?
Well, no, I was a little bit too far away.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
went
I don't
along.
know how you
I waved
respond to
I waved down to him. I think he might have waved back at me. I'm not sure, but it looked like he did. But that
It's
was
amongst the famous eugenicists. That was the Prince
Yes.
Albert, who I think
Yeah.
runs one of the Canadian military regiments. They all do, I think. Prince Charles has one. The other Prince William has one.
Right.
They all have a different Canadian military regiment that's their own or something.
This was before I knew exactly what he was all about. Right.
Oh.
But now I know if it would happen again, I wouldn't even show up there to sit down.
Yeah,
He was-
because he could be spraying a virus too in the crowd with like a spray or something.
Yeah. He's just looking at him. He's sort of evil looking.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
he's of
it's the area he grew
German
up in.
descent, right?
Well, he might be. He was raised by a Nazi family, I heard, in Greece, though. It was in Greece.
Uh-huh.
But they were like a Nazi family. But
Yeah.
they say that the whole royal family has German descent, so that could be a important thing that you need to have a German royal family bloodline to become
And
the British
a
royal-
Jewish one too, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, you need that because that's just total biblical stuff there with the
Yeah.
King James Bible and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, because Hitler had Jewish descendants in his army, and
Yeah.
I've even seen an old picture. He had a Sikh in his army too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, saw that too. So I don't think he was racist. He brought everybody into his army who wanted to defend Germany during World War II.
Yeah,
When
exactly.
he kicked out all the bankers.
And he had international alliances and stuff, but the current government of Canada is full of Sikh people compared to the population. It's like a huge portion. Isn't it like there's like 6 Sikh ministers or something?
Yeah. But to be prime minister, you have to be born in this country. You have to be born in this country. But I think that's going to change.
Yeah, they probably want to get rid of that because second generation or a first generation Canadian, second generation Canadian. What Trudeau would want, I think, the most would be to be declared dictator, though, of Canada. Or emperor or something. Because remember when he praised China as a basic dictatorship?
Yeah.
So that's how he would like to run it, I think.
Yeah. Well, when I was over there, even though it was a communist country, I felt very safe.
Oh, that's good.
Because, when you look into the cities, everybody's doing their own thing, going shopping and working and things like we do here. And, I felt more safe in Hong Kong and China than I do over here.
Do you see crime running rampant there? Or
No.
do you see like beggars in the street, though, every few blocks looking for change? And
Not so much because everybody has something to do. They have they like the Tibetans. They live off the land and they're selling their products.
Oh, you see people selling stuff in the streets.
Yeah.
But you don't see
yeah.
people like begging in the streets like you do here. Because Toronto, basically the big cities in Canada, is just full of downtowns are full of people looking for change. And
Well, Hong Kong, they have that too. They have that too, but it's not as predominant as I see it here.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. We're going from one part of the mall to another. The walkways that are above the street level.
Right.
There was a lady who was, wanting an elderly lady who I guess was wanting extra change or whatever. And I said, and I said, things like this shouldn't be happening. And, you should be helping our people. And she just told me and says, well, you can't help everybody. Not just everybody. They're a citizen of the country. They're not everybody.
Yeah.
But I know you can't help all people,
No, because it becomes out of control when the economies are falling apart. It's the age of decadence because people are just oblivious to what's happening.
Yeah. But everybody over there, even in China, are all driving good cars.
Oh, that's good. Because I know they have a lot of electric. They're the electric bikes, right? The electric...
Yes. Oh, China's just too much.
I think I saw a stat somewhere like 600 million electric bikes in China.
Yeah, there are quite a bit. I've never seen so many e-bikes in all my life. It's unbelievable. Going to school, going to work, going to play. And they work from their e-bikes, because you could see them, this little tiny e-bike and this humongous, if you're working, they're all covered with boxes.
Nice.
Right.
I saw, that also they're the world leader in electric vehicles too, because they got buses and cars too, the most.
Yeah.
For plug-in electrics.
Yeah. Still a lot of cars there. And bicycles, battery. Not so much, but a lot of cars and e-bikes. And people walking around.
Not the old-fashioned bikes, you mean?
No.
With pedals. Huh.
Not so much. It used to be more.
Yeah, but now the e-bikes
last
taken over.
15, 20 years maybe. E-bikes is the number one thing over there.
Huh.
And you don't have to wear a helmet either.
Yeah. Yeah, they do live dangerous in there.
But everybody's cycling amongst each other, cars and e-bikes and whatever.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing when they can move in and out. But I guess Hong Kong, they'd have traffic lights.
Well, China, they do too.
Because I've seen places where they don't have traffic lights, but then you see how the traffic still moves like wild.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They're moving in and around each other, people walking in here, there, and the other. Because when you're over there from here, you're basically living the same life you live over here, over there.
Yeah.
Right? And we wait for the traffic light to say green.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to go against the red light and stuff like that. And I'm just visiting your place.
Yeah.
Even though I do have had travel insurance.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to go out there in the middle of the street and get hit by a car for? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you don't want to disobey the rules too of where the place you're in.
Yeah,
they'll
exactly.
just throw you out, like you're saying with the U.S. They'll just throw you out.
Exactly. Yeah. So you go by the laws and the rules, and you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with Hong Kong, they have the two systems. They have the China, and they have the British style system. Where they wear that, like in the courts, they wear that white headdress.
So is there people speaking English when you're there, or not as much?
Some do. Some do speak English.
But you don't see English signs or anything?
Yeah, there are English signs, too.
Oh, so they'd have the Chinese above, but then they'd have English below or something?
Well, they have some English there. If you buy a product, let's say shampoo or something like that,
mm-hmm.
Pantene shampoo or whatever, it has the name Pantene on there, shampoo, and it's also in the characters as well.
Yeah, they do both.
They do both, yeah.
Like how Canada's bilingual with French and English.
Yeah, well, as far as I know, Chinese is the third language in Canada.
Chinese. Huh. Which one, though? Because China has multiple languages. Chinese.
Yeah, in China they have they have hundreds of dialects.
Yeah.
Every town you go to is a little bit different dialect.
Mm-hmm.
Even with the Philippines, you got the northern part, you got the southern part.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different dialects in there.
So you mean like all the dialects combined in Canada as the third language?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Cantonese and Mandarin.
Yeah. I'd believe it because there's a lot of...
Like 20 years ago, or actually more than that, it was mostly people from Hong Kong coming over here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's actually interesting, too, because the origins of Canada with the railroad was who created the hardest part of the railroad was the Chinese.
Yes, they did.
In BC. Through the Rocky Mountains is a crazy part, because I was even finding out about how they did in the U.S. all around the same time, too, the 1860s and 70s.
Yeah, and I have a gift here to show you that she brought over from China
nice.
or from Hong Kong. Here, I'll show you. It's a interesting,
You gotta turn the
interesting
camera on.
hat. Here, hold on here a second. Alrighty, there you go.
Nice.
There you are.
That's good on a hot day, probably on a sunny day.
Yeah, it's a farmer's hat.
Blocks out the sun. Working
Yeah,
the
the
fields.
farmer's hat. Yeah, work in the fields. That's it. Yeah, picking cotton.
Rice paddies.
Rice paddies. Yeah, exactly. So there you go. Yeah. How do I look? Pretty good.
It's a good one. You look like a true Canadian here.
What?
A real Canadian.
Well, I need to put on a Chinese jacket. Maybe that will make me look a little more authentic.
So have you ever been out to out west through that part of the railroad? That's
No, all we
Out
did
west.
was just stop in Vancouver, wait for our
Oh, you've
next
been to
flight.
Vancouver though.
Yeah, just to wait for our connecting flight.
Nice.
I saw the mountains in the background.
Nice. But then East Coast you never been, have you? Or Halifax?
East Coast,
or,
been to Prince Edward Island.
Oh, nice. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Oh,
Only
for
there in East Coast?
Yeah, East Coast. Prince Edward Island is nice. Nova Scotia.
Did you go there? Like Halifax or
Halifax, yes.
Cape Breton? Halifax, nice.
Halifax. And one good thing about that is that we went to see the cemetery where the victims of the Titanic were buried.
Oh, wow. That's pretty hardcore because that was a lot. That's a lot
And
of people.
and the cemetery, the plots were in the shape of the Titanic, the boat.
Oh, wow. So it's like a memorial too.
Memorial, yeah. I wanted to take a picture, but she told me at the time, this was in 1999, that no, you shouldn't be taking pictures in the cemetery.
Mhm.
It's not respect for the people who have gone before you.
Yeah.
I didn't take I couldn't take it.
because you have to respect the people there, but then they didn't know what was coming. Like basically, 15 years later, it's going to be the selfie culture, and people are doing selfies at funerals, and it's getting pretty sick.
Yeah,
What's happening here?
True. And in and in 1917, in the Halifax Harbor, two ships collided with each other. It was this big, huge explosion.
Yeah, the Halifax explosion. I had heard of this. That wouldn't they have a memorial for that too? The
Yes, they do.
Halifax explosion.
One of the anchors that was attached to the boat in the explosion,
They found
it was so powerful, it just blew that anchor and it stuck into a church.
Oh wow.
And it's still there to this day.
Oh wow.
And it's a memorial.
So it's just basically like nobody uses that as a church. It's just the church is there with an anchor.
The church is still going.
Oh, they just still have an anchor in it.
Yeah, they have an anchor in it.
Huh. How big? Like a
Well, on a ship like that, how big is the anchor? It's probably as big as this not the apartment building, but my room.
Oh wow.
All steel and everything else, you know. Cast iron, steel, whatever they used at that time.
Yeah. I guess that's hard to move if you need to.
Oh, geez, yeah. Maybe that's why they left it. It
Save
cost
the
too much
moving
money
fee.
to move it, you know. But at that time, like the whole area is just destroyed. It was just leveled.
Yeah, the Halifax explosion. They heard it a long way off. I think it was.
Yeah. And my grandmother, at the time, she got married in Halifax in around 1920.
Nice.
So she was a very young woman at that particular time. So she went there to get married, and she lived near Sentinel Hill.
Huh.
Right. And she still remembered that. And it was we went there and visited Sentinel Hill and went to see some of the monuments over there too as well. Went to the fort that's there. I forget the name of it. And we went there. It was pretty cool.
Nice. Because the hill you're talking about, was there something like a big battle that happened there or something, or was it?
Yeah, there was a big battle at the time, and and now it's No, it's a type of museum type of thing, and everybody goes there to see that, and it's pretty neat. Yeah.
Probably in the wars of Canada versus America, or
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Britain versus America.
Britain versus America. Yeah.
Because this is what I heard is during the Civil War that they considered like part of Montreal to be a second headquarters for the Southern Confederacy, and they were basically above the North. Was like the South had people up there.
Yeah, yeah.
And that would be interesting because that's like a few years later is when Canada is formed.
Yeah, it's when it was when Kingston was the capital of Canada.
Yeah, because it was in between Toronto and Montreal, so those are the big centers.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it was. They had to change it from Kingston to Ottawa, is because in Kingston you were so close to the United States.
Yeah,
it was too close, so they decided to bring it, take it to Ottawa.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it would make sense.
Ottawa, they have it up. It's almost like a fort too. It's sort of on a hill, the Parliament Hill, overlooking.
Yes, yeah,
everything.
Yes, yeah. So it was a big thing back in those days.
A bit fortified.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, we went to the fort in Halifax and stuff like that too. Had these big burly guys, in traditional uniforms and stuff like that in front of the gate to go into the fort. So it was like all cobblestone,
Yeah, like a classic old.
Yes, and had a schoolroom, had some place where you can go to eat, and it had some place for this, that, and the other thing, sleeping quarters for you and all that kind of stuff, and.
I had heard that Nova Scotia is actually means New Scotland.
New Scotland, yes.
When you spell it out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where they're getting it from the old.
Yeah, mm-hmm. That's why down east they have the different accent out there.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
and then Newfoundland's even a different dialect too.
Yeah, different. It's called Newfoundland. Not Newfoundland. Newfoundland. We all poke fun about
because the Vikings must have found it a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
They say they found old settlements of Viking.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But then John Cabot was, I guess, that found it.
John Cabot, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Found a lot of the fish, and then they did the fishing there, overfished it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But there still fish out there, and it might be a bit more trustworthy with the Pacific, with the Fukushima.
Yeah.
To go for Atlantic now, but it's still polluted too, probably.
Oh, I think by now what happened in Fukushima is, I think it's gone through to probably the other side.
Yeah, Atlantic,
Indian
Ocean, Arctic Ocean.
Yeah, because McDonald's uses the fish called Pacific Pollock. Pollock.
No.
Pacific Pollock or whatever. Yeah. Alaskan Pollock, sorry.
Yeah, Alaskan. That's in the Pacific.
That's right. Yeah.
When you see Alaskan.
So I'm thinking, is that something to do with Fukushima? Is it safe to eat?
Yeah. Well, the only chance it might be is if it's from fish farms, because they do a lot of fish farming too. So they might.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They might have it as a separate tank.
Yeah. They could, yeah. But you never know.
Yeah.
Never know.
Yeah, exactly.
But down east is very, very interesting to go. It's not as many people, and people are friendly.
Yeah, because, PEI is its own island, right? It's a smaller island, a lot smaller.
Yeah. We went from Halifax to PEI.
On a boat.
This big, huge ferry boat.
Yeah. Does the ferry boat take your car, too, or do you just...
Oh, it takes buses. It takes trucks and everything.
Yeah, that's huge, yeah.
Because you got to deliver...
That size.
From mainland to PEI. How are you going to live?
Yeah.
So PEI, we stayed there for one night, which was good. Then we went to see, what's her name? Anna Green Gable's house.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I think they're redoing that series on CBC, the
Yeah.
local communist broadcasting. They always have to redo a classic because
Yeah, exactly.
they're running out of ideas.
Right, yeah, I know. Yeah.
They've run out of Mansbridge too. Mansbridge is done.
Oh, Man's Bridge.
Gomeshi's a sex scandal. Gian Gomeshi.
Oh, yeah, I haven't heard that for a while.
Yeah. Well, that's because CBC would rather you not hear about it. It's behind them.
Yeah, exactly.
But they probably do bring up the Bill O'Reilly. That's another scandal, just similar to Gomeshi, I guess.
Yeah, I know.
Bill O'Reilly, Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby. I don't think he did. I don't know. I don't really trust what they're doing with Bill Cosby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't know if it's all
happened.
true or not. Once one woman gets on the bandwagon, the rest follow.
Yeah.
To get their few minutes of fame or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then you'd think that some of them would be at least based on a true story.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of different people to do it.
Yeah, but he kind of represents the all-American father, all this kind of thing, and you wouldn't really think of him as somebody like that.
Yeah, they'd be drugging people, and that he did play a doctor on TV, so
yes, he did.
He's trying to hand out medicine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then it just basically would knock the person out. The Gian Gomeshi was more harassment at work, I guess, workplace harassment. But I've heard that Peter Mansbridge was involved with that too. The guy that was the head of the national CBC's anchor.
Right.
So you never know what these people are up to. Their most senior guy now could be David Suzuki, I guess, if he's still around.
Oh, Dave. Hey, Dave, how you doing? If you could hear us. How are you?
He's in the club with Prince Philip as the eugenics.
Yeah.
Caught in the past, speaking of eugenics, because Prince Philip wants to come back as a virus to attack everyone.
Yeah.
And David Suzuki considers people as a third level maggot or something, or some level of maggot.
Yeah.
Not much more.
I'm just glad they're keeping these guys alive. I'm telling you. We don't want that.
You don't know what their spirits would be like if.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you have to battle them. Spiritual warfare.
Yeah.
You see it. Young and Dundas, you see it around the world.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure. And you get these other characters that just passed away, Zygmunt Brzezinski and David Rockefeller.
Yeah, that's the thing, where you're seeing some of the Illuminati is falling off.
Yeah, but I think they're waiting for new recruits.
Yeah. Well, Zygmunt was less known, because I even told people about that, and people hadn't even heard of him. They're like, who?
Right, yeah.
And the Rockefeller, though, people had heard of, but then the thing with him is that he was on his fifth heart or something. They had been doing heart transplants, and they had basically been keeping him alive through private medicine.
They could do that just by keeping him alive because he's the top number one guy, and recruiting more people, training them, and everything else too. When they get the people that they need in, that know what to do, then they say, okay, well, so just let this guy go.
Yeah, that's probably why Trump can't rock the boat too much. Trump. Yeah. He can't do his full agenda because he's got to go along with the Illuminati. They've got him.
Yeah, or else they might take him out. Or I think they've warned him already. You do what we tell you to do, or else you don't get another term, or maybe you not make it to the next term.
It's like you could probably go through a lot of the Illuminati cards, and a lot of them represent Donald Trump.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Well, he's said he's doing what he's doing to make America great, and he's been going against the grain for a while too, right?
Yeah.
Remember, I think it was about a month ago. He went to the United Nations.
Yeah.
And he was at the back of the crowd. And the guy who's the head of the United Nations, the CEO guy, and he just basically walks through all these people and just pushes aside this guy, and he's out there right in front of everybody. Hey, look at me! I'm Trump, I'm the man, not this guy over here. I'm the man. That's the impression I got. when he pushed the CEO of the UN, pushed him aside, and he just walked in front of everybody. You probably noticed that. So he's got that type of Andre about him, is that he's going to let you know that he's out there. I'm not a puppet, but I'm coming out anyway, regardless,
Yeah. Well, do you remember when he went to Saudi Arabia and he's holding that orb, the glowing orb?
Oh,
and they were all touching it?
Yeah.
So you don't know what rituals they're up to overseas. I did see that Trudeau, though, was down in the U.S. yesterday. Did you see that?
I heard that he was
meeting with Mike Pence.
Mike Pence. Oh, yeah, yeah.
And all the governors. Apparently it was the first time a prime minister's gone to the governors' meeting.
Right.
Where they all... Because they're renegotiating NAFTA.
Yeah.
So we'll probably get screwed again.
Right.
Or screwed even worse. Because I don't trust Canada's negotiation skills. Especially compared to the people Trump has involved with the best business minds.
Well, Trudeau, he's part of the game.
Yeah, he's playing a game. He's got fancy socks. He's having fun.
Well, he's got I like his hair though. Think that commercial? Got nice hair though.
Yeah. Yeah, he should do a few more celebrity boxing matches. Would be good, maybe. It's hard to find opponents though, because he knocked around the last senator a bit too much.
Yeah, I think he should go. If he thinks he's so smart, he should go up against in boxing up against Danny Bonaducci.
How about Butterbean? We've seen
Butterbean.
You've seen a knockout.
Oh no, Danny Bonaducci. Is if you remember him back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah, that's maybe why it's not a fair fight, just because they're a different era.
And I saw him going up against what's his name from the Partridge. Well, he's from the Partridge family, but the other guy, the Brady Bunch.
Ah. Huh.
He was going up on a boxing match.
One of the sons of the Brady Bunch.
Yeah, the older boy.
Yeah, when they had these celebrity boxing matches, that's where Trudeau, who would be a good opponent for Trudeau? I don't know. Because you would almost need another politician just because I don't know if a TV star would work. Unless maybe Ben Mulrooney might work, actually.
Ben Mulrooney.
But I don't think he's not a trained fighter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
But he's pretty much taken over as the morning host. He's a morning anchor.
Yeah, entertainment.
Like that's what Piers Morgan does now in the UK. Now is the morning guy.
Piers Morgan.
Yeah.
Gee, that guy. I'm telling you. Remember, Dr. Oz went in there, gave him a flu shot, and about a week or so later, he got sick.
Yeah. No correlation. No coincidence.
No coincidence. Just got sick. That was so funny.
150 years of deception. Eh? So are you seeing much in Mississauga? I know there is a guy in Mississauga doing a lot of YouTube videos. He's good. The Freedom Report. Kevin J. Johnston.
Right. Yeah. Well, you see a lot of flags going around still, and stuff like that from people's car windows and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But do they really know?
No, I don't think so.
One kid I asked, I forgot to mention it before. One kid, I think he's maybe 16 or something around that neighborhood. I said, why are we celebrating Canada Day? He says, well, it's a good time to party and drink. To just drinking, drinking, getting drunk and stuff like that. That's his answer.
There's a lot of beer going on in Canada. There's a lot of coffee too. I guess Tim Hortons.
Well, to him, it's more than beer, I think, or than coffee. But to him, it was the right answer.
Yeah. Scotch whiskey.
To me, he was a dumbed down TV watcher. Mm-hmm. Listens to rap crap, and that's what he does.
And there's a Canadian tradition during Prohibition to smuggling alcohol to the U.S.
Yes. And that was the time when you weren't allowed to give alcohol to a native. It was against the law.
Yeah, the firewater.
The firewater, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
That we were the ones that gave it to them anyways for their stuff.
Yeah, but now there's a lot of reserves too that don't allow it. And actually, that's when you see a lot of the homeless people that are native downtown. They actually can't go back home because they're not allowed anymore because they drink and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Which is a sad part, but
it is. Yeah, because I've known a few that were all cleaned up and really look sharp and they look presentable. I respect them.
Yeah,
I respect who they are because they were the first ones here.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they came around 10,000 years or more before we came around and invaded. Well, they never invaded the country because there was nobody here to begin with, except for the animals.
Yeah, but they were deceived by the origins of the country. That's where there is a scam there too. And I guess the Johnny MacDonald is also the first Indian minister or something of Canada. So
yes, and he was also a Freemason.
Yeah. And alcoholic too, so it's all combined. Yeah. It all combines into one giant conspiracy. The origins of Canada. 150 years of deception. Yeah. You've got the Mother Canada statue going out in overseas, or in the East Coast too.
Yes.
Cape Breton, Nova Scotia.
Cape Breton, yeah.
With arms wide open too to welcome the newcomers.
Yep.
Refugees.
Yeah, we're still doing it.
Fallen soldiers.
Fallen soldiers as well.
Overseas, yeah. Too many conflicts.
Yeah. Well, Canada's one big hotel. There's room for everybody.
Yeah. The RCMP can be your bellhop.
Your they're dressed in bellhop clothes anyway. That's what we should do is get rid of the your local police and just keep the OPP and all the other provincial police. What do you need local police for? Just have one.
The thing is that when you have the bigger the police force, then the more opportunity they have for like a corrupt leader to control so much.
Yeah.
If it's a smaller police force, then if it's a corrupt one, then they can only have a smaller area, right? Like a small town.
Yeah.
Like in the heat of the night.
Yeah, that's true.
You'd rather more of an in the heat of the night than a one where it's like Gotham City, where there's like an evil corrupt force or something.
Yeah. As the Joker is your leader.
One or two good officers, yeah.
Right, yeah. Makes sense, I guess.
The thing with the the whole history of Canada though is pretty much a scheme from the start.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
There's always been good people though, but then a lot of people have always just reverted back to their nationality. You know, they have national pride that's not Canadian. That's for like a ethnic heritage or whatever.
Yeah. Well, Canada, it's a great. Well, we're not a country anymore; we're a corporation. Yeah. But we weren't very nice to the Ukrainians back in the 20s.
Right.
We didn't treat them very well.
Right. And they actually had a bad time because they had the famine in Ukraine, and they had what the Soviets were doing, and they were actually selling the bread to like people that didn't need it as much and stuff. And the actual place where the bread's being grown, or the people are starving and stuff.
Yeah, because I know I have DVDs that I bought with Mark. Had them here somewhere. It talks about, it's a documentary on how we treated the Ukrainians back in the early 20s when they came over here. We didn't treat them very well either.
Yeah, and it's a Ukrainian Holocaust. They're now finally recognizing it. Holodomor, they call it.
You're right.
Because I live in the Ukrainian area. They actually call the area I live in the largest area outside of Ukraine, I think, of Ukrainian.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
Bloor West Village, because we had the Ukraine Festival in September, I think.
Right.
And they actually had an exhibit, this traveling bus last year that was screening this Holodomor video all about the starvation, and the Stalin had all these schemes where he was getting the grain, and basically some of it he was selling, some of it he was just destroying, and basically destroying these people.
Right.
It was millions of people that have died, and it's not considered a Holocaust.
Yeah, exactly. And how we treated the Orientals when they came in, there had to be a head tax.
Yeah, they've finally apologized for that, but apology is not much. But
no, but it's a start in the right direction.
Yeah, because none other places were charged a tax.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually watching the PBS Series 2 on the West, where California is founded. And it said during the gold rush in California, half of the state's money that came from the tax they put on the Chinese miners. Because they were the best miners, but they were, the most successful miners, even though they were given the worst spaces to mine, worst conditions. They actually ended up being the best, and they were given a tax because they refused to leave. I guess a lot of the other nations, all the foreign nations were given the tax, but a lot of them left because they couldn't make the money to pay it.
Right, yeah.
It's pretty amazing how many, it would have been billions if it happened, was happening now.
Yeah.
Back
definitely.
then, hundreds of millions of it came out of this.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, so.
Gold.
So it's quite,
metals.
Yeah, quite the history, I'm telling you.
That's where I think that Canada's going to get screwed over in NAFTA, is the whole resources that we still have of Canada, because that's basically all Canada has. They're probably going to sign it away, give it to the U.S. and Mexico whenever they need it.
Well, look at the U.S. They go in other countries to put in their democracy by taking all their stuff. That's what's going to happen to us. The U.S. are going to come in with their military and say, okay, you have to give up all this stuff.
Yeah, we're going to have to build a wall. We need to. This is make Canada great again. Build a wall. We'll make it out of ice.
Get out of ISIS.
Yeah, a stack of white Toyotas and
the
whole Canada long, smart cars. And then we'll do the one in Mexico. Like in the NAFTA negotiation, you can try to get them to pay for the wall.
Yeah.
Mexico.
Well, what about the North American Union? If you're going to start building walls, then we're not going to have that, are we?
No, well, they could, because I'm pretty sure the whole point of building the wall is so in a few years they tear it down, like a symbolic thing. Because you know how they always talk about the Berlin Wall being torn down?
Right, yeah. I remember
they want
that.
to do a symbolic thing where they tear it down.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be, in that sense, it would be sad for Trump if he's still alive when they do it, but he might not be, because he's getting older.
Yeah, he's over 70-ish.
Plus, they want him taken out, like there's a lot of threats on him.
Oh, definitely. There was a lot of that even before he even ran.
The Clinton Chronicles, you know what they've been up to, what they've done. And
people tell me, oh, Bill, Trump is this, that, and he's a womanizer. He wants to do this, that, other thing to women. I said, do you know anything about Bill Clinton?
Yeah.
Trump just talks. He does it. Clinton, he does it.
William Jefferson Clinton.
Thomas Jefferson, he named that.
Yeah, he actually wrote the Declaration of Independence, the big...
Yeah.
So we'll need to do a new declaration.
Yeah. And Hillary Clinton, you know where she got the Hillary name?
No.
Sir Edmund Hillary, the mountain climber.
Oh, yeah, because didn't he do... he climbed some of the biggest
yes, yeah.
mountains, didn't he? Mount Everest and different...
Yeah.
The ones in Alaska, I think.
Right, yeah. So that's where she got her name.
Rodham, though, you don't totally know where.
I would have named her Rock Bottom.
There's all kinds of conspiracies about what her parents were up to and all this. Bill Clinton's as well, and the Rockefeller family and all this stuff.
The Clinton Foundation.
Yeah, the Clinton Foundation, we don't know too much, but we do know the Trudeau Foundation has had a lot of scams.
Yes.
And now the Obama Foundation is creeping up, and you'll see on reports and stuff.
Oh boy, you got to have your head on a swivel for crying out
The
loud.
Obama Foundation. Well, just whenever you see one of these characters in the game in the Illuminati type New World
Yeah.
Order, just put their name in with foundation and see what comes up, because most of them will have their own,
Yeah. Oh,
their own
for sure.
foundation. Way to smuggle money, funnel it.
Yeah. They're all and they're all inbred too as well. I was on Facebook earlier and I saw a foot that had at least 8 toes.
Oh no, that's scary to see.
That was like, I think that's had something to do with all the inbreeding,
That would shock
like
you,
first
yeah.
cousins
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff.
The other thing is the depleted uranium and stuff. They do have that,
Yeah.
where it's a lot of radioactive stuff going on. Chernobyl,
Yeah.
Fukushima,
Yeah.
3
And
Mile
autism,
Island.
yeah, and autism now is very big.
Actually, a scary one was also the Love Canal, which was near New York. The Love Canal
Oh, okay, yeah.
story. I was reading up on that one in New York. It was somewhere outside, just outside Niagara Falls. I think they had a totally polluted. The factory there was able to get away with it for years,
Right.
but then it destroyed the community. Basically, a lot of people got sick and
Yeah.
it was traced back.
Yeah. I heard that the Hudson River is non-polluted.
Oh, huh.
Because when we were there
That'd be cool.
in New York at that time, we took like in 2002, we took at the time we took like a ferry boat or whatever cruise around the Hudson River.
Nice.
The guy was telling us about the Hudson River is non-polluted,
Nice.
believe it or not.
That is cool. I think it's only possible if like there's still some natives around there that are keeping it clean.
Yeah, I'd hope so. Yeah,
Because the corporations wouldn't care.
yeah.
Basically, the government can be bought,
Yes.
so that's the only way it's possible.
That was the time, just a year, just after, almost a year, about 9-10 months after 9/11 that we were there. So the reminiscence of 9/11 was very strong.
Yeah, when you see the cops everywhere and
Security everywhere.
first
and-
responders.
Yeah, because the guy that was the tour guide on the boat, oh man, was he upset still. Says, I hope they rot in hell, blah, 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 blah. And, at that time I didn't know exactly what was going on. I knew something was going on, but I didn't know exactly what I know today, but I didn't know that time. Right? He's talking about security, and I said, we don't have a lot of as much security at our home in Canada. He says, yeah, right. Like he was very angry. Right? So I just didn't want to bring it up. We went to see the memorial in New York City as well, and the USS Intrepid.
Oh, cool.
They had
That's
the time.
parked down there.
Yes, yeah. At the time they had
docked, I should say.
a memorial there inside the boat, inside the ship.
But it was before. You never saw when they created what they have now, the 9/11 Museum.
No, not at all.
Because I did hear Sydney White gave a bad review, the Studies in Propaganda channel.
Oh yeah.
She had been down there. It was too much.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, for sure. But I haven't.
And they're making money off it. They're charging.
Yeah, but when we went, there was just a big gaping hole there,
Yeah.
all cordoned off and everything. We couldn't park the bus anywhere because it was just too busy.
Mhm.
Right, so we just took one lap around the block just to take a look at it. That is one big gaping hole there,
Yeah. Building
what?
7, there probably you didn't see the remnants of.
No. It was probably in that complex, but being on the bus, you couldn't see too much.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's only a sort of obstructed viewing always a bit on it.
Yeah. But we did go to Washington, D.C. to see the obelisk, and we saw the Capitol building and, and the White House. We were there at the White House. It was like fenced off. You couldn't get inside to close. Yeah, I think now you can go a little closer. But at that time, no, it was cordoned off.
Nice.
Right, so we couldn't really go in there, but we felt fairly safe. Security is pretty tight, but we're able to walk around, do whatever, that type of thing. So it was pretty good.
Mhm.
It was all right.
Yeah, that's something.
Oh, yeah, definitely for sure. It's
The
quite the thing, you know.
the G20 in Germany was pretty hardcore.
Oh, yeah, the Black Bloc were just out there destroying things. Is what they
Yeah,
normally do.
because they attack everyone as alt-right, even if you're, and it's pretty hardcore that the people that are like with German accents are calling the Americans Nazis. This is
Yeah,
what it's turned to.
yeah,
Luke Rudowski is a Nazi, and then you actually search his name, and you'll find all the anti-Luke Rudowski stuff is how about he's Jewish? He's Jewish.
Oh, he's
that
Polish.
he's a Nazi. But I guess you
Polish
are right
descent.
there. There is Jews in the Nazi army, but
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily call Luke Rudowski that just because he's done so much 9/11 truth stuff.
Yeah, I know.
That's why I
Well,
don't
he-
trust these Black Bloc. They're
No, I don't either.
probably George Soros funded and almost like the Amazing Randy type Society of Skeptics, where they like try to pretend they're activists or like
Yeah,
skeptical about this stuff, but then they're all just trying to disprove 9/11 and
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
pro-vaccines and
Yeah.
all this stuff.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. So yeah, it's
That's
quite,
a lot
quite
of the reason why they're totally in black too. I think they're masked up is because they can't show their face because they actually have like the type of jobs that can't do this stuff. They'd get in trouble. They like work for the government or they work for
Yes,
some
that's
big
true.
corporation,
Yeah.
the police, something.
But Luke, he's a Polish descent.
Yeah, I had heard. I didn't actually know that he was born in Poland. Somebody did say that though in one of the interviews I saw.
Yeah.
Might have been Tim Pool. Tim Pool was around there.
Yeah,
he
right,
was
right.
attacked. Lawrence Southern is attacked,
Mm-hmm.
and Luke Rudowski, some reporter for Heavy.com, just because they were like in the picture or something.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And the Black Bloc is working with the media over there, so that's where you see the mainstream media tweeted out the Twitter image saying to get these people,
Yeah.
or a reporter for the mainstream media,
Yeah.
to the Antifa Twitter or something. So
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I just wouldn't want to. I want to be the maintenance people cleaning up after these people.
no,
Oh.
there is part where they do spray them down though with the water cannons, so the cops do help out there. Maybe they spray them down a bit,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
hose them down.
Yeah. Hold them down. Yeah.
But it's probably like the pressure washer. You probably see it at work.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
the pressure washers because the stream comes out pretty hardcore of the hose when they spray them down.
Mm-hmm.
They have militarized their police though, like how they have over here and I guess everywhere.
Yes, they do.
And it's like a big SWAT team type G20. Every G20, I always get the flashbacks of the Toronto one.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
It's one of the epic moments of Canada 150 years.
Well, you have to
Was the
include that in
G20,
there.
The martial law, when martial law
yeah.
set. Because
Yep.
the only other similar one was, they say, was when martial law was set in Pierre Trudeau in the 70s.
Right.
In Quebec, only in Quebec, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But since, other than that, there was like times during the war and stuff they had it, but
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
it's
And
a
even-
rare
even-
event for Canada.
Yeah. Well, they can now having martial law in this country is more prevalent now than it has been in all of history.
Yeah.
It can happen anytime, anywhere.
Mhm.
So we all should be keeping our ears and our eyes open and just looking around. Just make sure that you know what's going on, right? Because most people, like a lot of people out there, they're ignorant and they don't follow anything. They just follow everything, and they don't really research anything. They don't know about anything, right? So we got to wake up these people and keep ourselves awake too, as well. Because even though you're awake, sometimes there are times where you can be falling asleep. So I'm basically saying we should be vigilant and keep our eyes and our ears open.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the note that we need to put forward for
Oh, for sure.
Canada for the next 150 years or however long, 1,000 years.
Yeah.
2,000 years.
Yeah, the Bike Man for You show that I watch on bicycles, his motto is, if you see something, say something. He says the war on terror is not going to stop.
I think that's in the Toronto Transit too. See something, say something.
Yeah.
So it's
that can mean like like snitch on your neighbor because he's using too much water.
Yeah, you'll see a big push on this with the expansion. CSIS is expanding. There's different spy groups.
Yeah, or you're cutting your lawn at after 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
this type of thing.
East Germany, they had it. They've got different. They'll have people that can look through your trash to make sure you threw in the right bins.
Yeah.
They can even add more bins too, because I think we only have 3 bins. They have like 5 in Europe or in England, I think. So they could even add a few more. Do fines. They've got the fare inspectors all over the subway to do fines.
True. Yeah.
They were showing. They had one bike cop that was getting all over social media that was doing fines for people parked in the bike lanes.
Yes, that's a big issue for these cyclists or organizations.
You see it everywhere, yeah. Oh
yeah, for sure. And you see a UPS truck in the lane, or a post truck in the lane and stuff like that too, right? Which shouldn't be happening, type of thing,
Yeah, exactly.
But back in the Netherlands and stuff like that, everybody has their spot. Everybody has their place, so nothing is conflicting.
Yeah.
Everything is run smoothly.
Yeah, exactly.
But here, nothing runs smoothly. You got to watch out, and you got to look everywhere. You got to keep an eye out, got a head on a swivel. So if you're not looking where you're going, you get smashed right in the back of a truck or something like that.
Exactly. Look both ways. Stay vigilant.
There you go. Stay vigilant. If you see something, say something.
It's Angry Beaver Radio. We're back now recording. Hopefully we can start doing some more regular
Yes,
shows.
Hopefully.
And hopefully this recording will turn out. We'll post it up on the YouTube, at least through the Facebook too.
Yeah, it was a good show. I really enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed it all the time anyway, but it's always good to keep the old Beaver going.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll try to get Mark and Johnny Beaver on next time. I know that's what we said last time, but we'll try it again.
Yeah, we'll do that. No problem.
Cool. Yeah, it's been good talking to you, Michael. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Thanks a lot there, Daniel. It's been a pleasure, and we'll do it again real soon.
Cheers.
Okay, cheers for now.
Angry Beaver Radio.